Okay, so today we are starting a new section, chapter 3-4, equations with two or more operations. So we're just going to keep building on what we learned last week, solving equations, but this time we have more than one step to solve it. And so I'm on page 118. Numbers 1 and 2 are already on the board. We're just going to go through the steps on how to solve them. So when I see an equation, do you remember we have to use order of operations in a special way when we're solving equations?
So you do -2 and put it on both sides?
Yeah, so when you're solving equations, you actually use the order of operations in reverse. So we do addition and subtraction first, then multiplication or division. Okay, so Bradley said first we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Yep. 3x equals 12.
And then you just divide.
Then we're going to do the opposite of multiplication.
12 divided by 3.
So divided by 3 is 4. Good. Okay, now it says check the solution. So I am going to plug it back in and see if I get the right answer, if I balance both sides. So I'm going to take this 4 and plug it back in there. I think I'll do it here. 3 times 4 plus 2 equals 14. And 3 times 4 is 12. Bring the rest down. And then 12 plus 2 is 14. So if I get the same number on both sides, that means I had the right solution, and I'm good.
Oh, is this checking?
This is checking, yeah.
We have to do the same thing again.
Yep, same thing again.
4.
So we're going to do addition and subtraction first, so plus 4 to both sides. If we want to do the opposite of whatever's happening to the variable. And 8 plus 4 is 12. Now, a fraction means what operation? Division. So we're going to do the opposite of division, and we're going to multiply by whatever's underneath the variable.
Is that just 2 points?
It's a multiplication dot. Yep. 2 times m over 2 equals 12 times 2. 12 times 2 is?
24.
Yes.
I couldn't remember what 12 times 2 was. I was like, wow.
All right, and so if I'm checking my work, again, I'm just going to plug in what I got for 24 and see if or what I got for m, and see if it gets me to balance both sides. So if I do 24 over 2 minus 4 equals 8. So 24 divided by 2 is what? 12. And 12 minus 4, 8. So I balanced both sides, so I'm correct in my solution. For the next two, I'm skipping a couple of problems. I'm just giving you like a big overview of how to do different types. So number 4 is similar to number 2, but the fraction part looks a little different. So when you have an actual fraction sitting next to the variable, I'll show you what to do with that in a second. So first we're going to do what?
-5.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Good. Get rid of that 5 first. And when I have an entire fraction sitting there, I'm going to flip it and multiply both sides by the flip. If it has a negative, you have to multiply with the negative also. So then these guys will cancel out and just equal 1 or n. And remember, on our whole number, we always have an invisible what? 1 sitting underneath. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply top numbers together and multiply bottom numbers together. So negative 3 times negative 4 is close. Positive 12. Two negatives cancel each other out. And then 1 times 1 is 1. I don't even have to write the 1. When there's a 1 on the bottom, you can just leave it off. So n equals 12. So now I want to plug it back in and see if it's correct. So I'm going to say negative 1/4 times 12 plus 5 equals 2.
So negative 5 plus 5. Oh no, you start with the. So you do negative 12. Negative 12?
Negative 1/4 times 12. Okay, and remember, you have that invisible 1, so you can just multiply the top numbers and multiply the bottom numbers.
Well, that's why I said negative 1 times 12.
So negative 1 times 12 is,
12.
yeah, it equals negative 3. Plus 5 equals 2, and negative 3 plus 5, 2. So we got it. And the next one, what do I do first if I want to solve this problem? Yeah, I have to distribute both sides. So I'm going to do 2 times y and then 2 times 7. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 7. And I'm going to do the same on this side, distribute. So 3 times y. Yep, then 3 times negative 1. Good. All right, so first we distribute, then we did this a little bit last week. We're going to get our variables on one side, our numbers on the other.
So you move 3 and you move 14. Well, no, you basically do 3 plus 4. Get to move 3 over 2.
Okay, so you want to move this 3 first.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 plus 3, and then plus 3, and then plus 14.
Yeah. So we get 2y plus what?
2y plus 17.
Yeah. Equals 3y. Now since I moved my number here, I'm going to move my variable over there. So I'm going to do what?
2y.
Minus 2y, yeah.
Minus 2y. So the negative to the 3.
Yep. So 3 minus 2y is how much?
1.
1y, or just y.
So then it's 17 equals y.
That's right. So now I can plug 17 in for y and see if that's correct. I'm going to try to fit it over here. I wrote too big. Okay, so 2 times 17 plus 7 equals 3 times 17 minus 1. Now the first thing I'm going to do, you could do this 2 ways. You could distribute the numbers on the outside to what's in the parentheses, or you can solve what's in the parentheses first. So I'm going to solve what's in the parentheses first. It's easier. 17 plus 7 is 24. Yeah. And then 17 minus 1 is 16. Now I can multiply and see if those two equal. So 2 times 24 is, yep. And 3 times 16 is 48.
That's the multiplication. I can never remember the multiplication table.
Okay, the last one that we're going to do, 8 and 9 are a little bit different. It gives us an equation or a formula, and it asks us to solve for a specific variable. So this one says solve for x. That means I have to get x alone. So the first thing I'm going to do is, subtract the b, because my whole goal is to get this x by itself. So first subtract b from both sides. we get y minus b equals m times x.
That was so much easier for us.
Yes, it is easier with numbers. I agree with that. So now I still need to get x alone. It has some multiplication happening to it, so I'm going to do the opposite, division. I'm going to divide by whatever's next to x. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So on this side, the m's cancel out, and I get x alone. And then on this side, I'm just going to write this down. And that's
So
it.
how do you know how to do this?
How do I know how to solve for x?
Yeah, how did you know how to do that? Like,
I just
it was a different problem, so that's what I did.
remember.
So, we can vote.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I'm like, that would never click